Hello, so this is my second video on my 23andMe results. So I've already posted to you my ancestry results, so hopefully you found those interesting. This is even more interesting. This is my health results. Well, wow. So 23andMe gives you loads of information regarding your health, some of which, do you know what, you don't need to know and you've never heard of before. For example, it gives you stuff on wellness, and you've got 8 reports on wellness. Caffeine consumption, deep sleep. I am not a deep sleeper. I'm really not a deep sleeper. I'm meant to weigh average, right? And yeah, it says I'm not lactose intolerant, but well, I react to milk, so it must be the casein or some protein or something. Traits, these are a bit weird. So ability to match musical pitch. Asparagus odour detection. Yes, I can smell it. I can taste bitter. I haven't got cheek dimples. What else? Earlobe type. Detachable earlobes. Hair texture. Wavy hair thickness. Less likely to have thicker. Look, I've got really thick hair. Shut up. Likely prefer salt. No, I don't. I prefer sweet. Absolutely sweet. Wake up time. Likely to wake up around 8 or 4 a.m. I'm more likely to be a night person. Interesting. What else? The proper health ones. The genetic factors are more interesting. And it says that I've got a slightly increased risk of age-related macular degeneration. Macular degeneration is a cause of vision loss amongst the elderly. It damages the central part of the retina, which is called the macula, and this is definitely in my family. My nan went blind, or virtually blind, in her elderly years with macular degeneration. My mum's got it, so she's not blind, but she's got it. And they've found I've got 2 copies of a genetic variant. So there you go, in the ARMS2 gene. So I might lose some vision when I'm older. Well, I'll worry about that when I'm older. But this is really interesting. It says I've got an increased risk of celiac disease with 2 variants detected. So celiac disease is an autoimmune condition in which consumption of gluten causes damage to the small intestine. And I've got both of the genetic variants that they've tested. Well, it's interesting because I was tested by my doctor for celiac disease some time ago, and they said I didn't have celiac disease. I didn't have the genetic thingy doodah. So I don't know what they test. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why this would say that I've got an increased risk of it. But it just says studies estimate that only about 3% of people with 1 or more copies of this develop celiac disease. So I don't know. But apart from fatigue, I don't have any of these symptoms. So I don't have the BRCA1, BRCA2, which are cancer-related things. So I'm pretty good. Pretty pleased about that. But the most interesting thing is in my carrier status details. Now I've got all of these diseases that they test for that I don't have. I've tested negative for. One of them actually is where is it? Where is it? There, hereditary fructose intolerance. I've not got any variants for that, which is I do react to fructose. I know I do, so that's interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. But this is the most interesting. The most interesting is this, and I'd never heard of this condition, but I am a carrier for Mcad deficiency. So Mcad deficiency is a rare genetic disorder characterised by episodes of very low blood sugar while fasting or under stress. A person must have 2 variants of the ACADM gene in order to have this condition, and I've got 1 of them, so I'm a carrier. Medium chain acetyl coenzyme A dehydrogenase deficiency. Wow. Okay, so if you've got a full-blown condition, then you're going to develop symptoms in infancy: severely low blood sugar, fatigue, vomiting, seizures, and liver problems. So I kind of thought, well, what does it mean if you're a carrier? And to be honest, I can't find very much information about what it's like to be a carrier. But what this disease does is it prevents your body from converting medium chain fatty acids into energy. So if you fasted, or you've used up all your sugar through loads of exercise, then you have a massive lack of energy because you can't convert fat. So you're all right if you've got high blood sugar, but if you're fasting, then you can't convert it. My mum suffers from low blood sugar. If she's not eating for a few hours, she goes dizzy and faint, and she gets low blood sugar. So I've possibly got this variant from my mum. But I'm just a carrier. I don't have the full-blown disease, and it's an autosomal recessive pattern, which means you need both copies for you to show the disease. But still, what does it mean to be a carrier? I've not had much time to look up very much about this, but I found this site about genetic life hacks. So it's not, it's got some references, some scientific references, but it says here that heterozygous mutations, which means that you've got 1 copy and not both copies, that people who are heterozygous for this gene mutation may also have problems with mild hypoglycemia during times of exercise, fasting, blah, blah, blah. So one study sums up, and I'll look up this, as with other metabolic disorders, the distinction between normal and disease in Mcad deficiency is blurring into a spectrum of enzyme deficiency states caused by different mutations in the gene, possibly influenced by factors intracellular protein. Doesn't work. What to make of it? Well, it basically means that if carriers are symptomatic in a mild state, it might explain why when I tested my blood sugar after a day of not eating, from the morning where I had 25 grams of chocolate for about, 10 hours, I didn't eat, and I had a blood sugar under the normal of 3.1, and the kind of low end of normal is 4. So is it possible that I'm getting abnormally low blood sugar because I can't digest, or I can't take the fat, the medium chain fatty acids, and use it as energy? Well, if that's the case, then I have to have a high carb diet. I cannot do keto. I cannot do it, right? So if there are people out there who are carriers of this, they can't do keto either, because if they've only got, if they have a reduced ability to digest fat and use it as energy, you got to use the sugar as energy. So I'm definitely going to mention this to my doctor next time I see him, because this could be one of the reasons why I'm suffering from fatigue and I faint and I'm dizzy, because I've got abnormally low blood sugar more times than I know about. So this is really, really important information for me. So watch this space. I'm going to investigate it. So well done 23andMe for bringing this to my attention. Right, guys, I'm going. I'm in the middle of another video. I'm testing blood sugar again. So yeah, you'll have seen that video before you see this video. Timelines, always a problem. But anyway, right, laters. Like, share, subscribe.